Hello students, once again I welcome you all. As you know, we have already started Girish Karnad's historical play Tughlaq. In the previous couple of classes, we talked in general about Girish Karnad as a dramatist and all the important features of his writing. I also highlighted on the philosophical implications and influences on Girish Karnad as a playwright and how he has very effectively dealt with the historical elements related to Muhammad bin Tughlaq of the 14th century. Students, as you know, all the important features I have discussed in detail, and I intimated you all that in this class I am going to talk on Tughlaq as a play, as a drama. So first of all, you need to know about some of the important aspects related to the play, like its publication, stage production, translation and transcreation. Similarly, the thematic concerns of the play also. As far as Tughlaq as a play is concerned, it was first published in Kannada language in 1964, and almost after a year, that is 1965, it was first published in Kannada language itself. As you know, the influence of Girish Karnad as a dramatist, and as anticipated, this play was an immense success on the stage in Kannada. The grand success of this play in Kannada language compelled the author and the others as well, those who were working in the field of making dramas and plays. So this play was produced by National School of Drama in Hindi language in 1965. Almost in the same year, it was also translated and produced on the stage in Marathi and Bengali languages as well. In the year 1970, the English production was done in Mumbai, and you can see now in the course of 5 to 6 years or so how Girish Karnad has really created his own aura in the field of playwriting, and also he has created his own very established image in the field of writing in English and Kannada at the same time. Friends, you need to also understand that why this play was really a grand success on the stage. If you go through in detail as far as theatrical elements are concerned, you will find that the play became a grand success because of these theatrical elements. First of all, you need to understand that the play is full of complex symbolism. Because of its rich and complex symbolism and subtle weaving of its motif, Girish Karnad could really create an effective play and produced it on the stage for convincing his audience. As a matter of fact, it is an interesting story. It has an intricate plot, has a wide scope for its spectacle. Similarly, one more technical theatrical aspect we need to take into consideration whenever we talk about Tughlaq as a historical play. In my previous class also, I talked about the couple of characters, that is Azam and Aziz. As you know, Girish Karnad had a great influence of Natak Mandali. He was very well familiar with the Natak performances in Kannada, in Marathi, and he was also familiar with the comic characters created in the Natak performances, that is the Akara and Makara. While writing Tughlaq, probably the influence of the Natak Mandali compelled Girish Karnad to artistically create these two characters, that is Aziz and Azam. In nutshell, I mean to say, the use of dramatic conventions like comic pair of Aziz and Azam is the outcome of the Akara and Makara of Natak performances that he has witnessed right from his childhood. As a matter of fact, Girish Karnad got immediate theatrical response from the contemporary audience. As it was produced for the first time in Kannada in 1965, as I said before, it was really a grand success. And how he could really get connected with the Kannada audience, I think this is the thread in between. The Natak performances, the audience was familiar with the characters like Akara and Makara, and almost on the same grounds, Girish Karnad has produced these two characters, that is Aziz and Azam, those who are creating hilarious and light moments on the stage. Now, I will try to focus on this particular play as a great history play. In fact, we discussed Girish Karnad as a great literary figure and also talked about him as a great history play writer. But now I am going to focus in particular about the present play that we are going to learn. Again and again I told you that Girish Karnad has dealt with history in his own style. I cannot say that history is recreated by Girish Karnad as it was. We cannot say so. And the reason is also obvious. Until and unless a playwright compromises with some of the historical issues historical facts. He cannot really produce a work of art, that too an effective work of art on the stage. As we are familiar with Shakespearean historical plays also, how he has handled the historical facts in order to produce the literary effect in his plays. The plays like Antony and Cleopatra, Julius Caesar, Coriolanus, and so on. So here, Girish Karnad is going to deal with the medieval Indian history, especially the history of Muhammad bin Tughlaq, who was the emperor of Delhi Sultanate in the 14th century. And that's why this particular play is a historical play dealing with the last 5 years of the troubled reign of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Actually, the action of the play takes place in Delhi in 1327. Then the action of the play takes place on the road from Delhi to Daulatabad. As you know, Muhammad bin Tughlaq took a decision to shift his capital city from Delhi to Daulatabad. And lastly, the play comes to an end in and around Daulatabad fort. So if you see, the play presents the action that is elaborately taking place in the course of 5 years or so. It starts with the decision made by or taken by Muhammad bin Tughlaq to shift his capital from Delhi to Daulatabad. That is in 1327. And after all disillusionment and frustration in the course of 5 years, he takes another decision in 1332 to go back to Delhi. So this particular tenure of 5 years has been effectively covered and historically presented by Muhammad bin Tughlaq. So while preparing for the play, Girish Karnad has gone through a number of historical documents. He happens to go through Zia-ud-Barani's Tarikh-e-Firuz Shahi, Al-Marshi's Maslak al-Absar, Ibn-e Battuta Travels, and Badoni's Tarikh Mubarak Shahi. These are the 4 historical documents which are even today available in various libraries. Girish Karnad took the reference from all these books and consequently come to a very comprehensive idea that what exactly he is going to write about Muhammad bin Tughlaq and how he is going to address the span of 5 years from the life of Muhammad bin Tughlaq in his play titled as Tughlaq. Now you see, based on the historical primary resources, how Girish Karnad has depicted the character of Tughlaq is also equally important for us. If you turn the pages of history, you will find that the depiction of Tughlaq over here in the play and the portrayal of Tughlaq by the historians, as I mentioned earlier, you will find a very close resemblance. Girish Karnad has depicted Tughlaq. He has created him in a very different way in order to make the artistic effectivity. Tughlaq's idealism, scholarship, his vision for the country, his temperament, zeal for innovation and religious tolerance, all these important aspects of his life were minutely observed and particularly noted by Girish Karnad in the play. One more aspect I would like to add on over here, that is Tughlaq as a rationalist. Of course, both in politics and religion. But as a whole, if you see, and all these historical evidences will also prove the same, that Tughlaq was a victim of the wrath of the orthodox Muslims like Bahrani. And it is also mentioned somewhere in the pages of history that Tughlaq was guilty of parricide and fratricide. He was a ruthless monarch who murdered simply on suspicions and doubts. He inflicted untold sufferings on his subjects. When he shifted his capital from Delhi to Daulatabad, he introduced copper coins in the course of time as a currency. He modified the taxation policy which was going on for long, especially against the Hindus, and that was called the jizya tax. And similarly, he also introduced some of the administrative reforms. All these decisions which were taken by Muhammad bin Tughlaq in the history, they played a negative role for he himself first, and in the course of time created so many rivals for him, political rivals for him. And Girish Karnad has tapped this particular aspect of his life very effectively. If you see the overall depiction and the portrayal of Tughlaq as a character in the play, you will find that Tughlaq seems to be a bundle of contradictions and paradoxes. How he became so? He became so because of his own decisions. He takes certain decision in order to get some political advantage, or else because of some fancy that he had in his mind, or else he wanted to do some administrative reforms. Since he was a visionary, he used to look forward in the future, and accordingly he used to design his policies. But the contemporary people of his time and those who were associated closely with him, they were not convinced with the ideas of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. And that's why he experienced failure that continued, or that lead him to frustration and ultimately the disillusionment in life. So these are the factors that we could really find in this particular play. As I said earlier also, that Girish Karnad is the great historical playwright. But one thing we need to accept over here, that he had made lots of deviations in the history. When you say someone as a historian And someone as a historical playwright, I think these two things are totally different. A historian will never deviate with the history. He will write based on the facts related to the past. But when it comes to a playwright or a dramatist, whether it is the case of Girish Karnad or even William Shakespeare, they deviated history in order to create their literary effect in the work of art. So you can see there are a number of characters which are created in this play. It is Ain ul Mulk, Sheikh Imamuddin, Shihabuddin, Najib, murder of Ghiyasuddin Abbasid. In the cases of all these characters, the kind of portrayal which is made over here, the kind of situations which are presented by or dramatized by Girish Karnad, they are all deviated in order to create the dramatic effect on the stage. And one more thing, which is very important here, the literary creation of Aziz and Azam. If you turn the pages of history, in the entire history of Muhammad bin Tughlaq, you don't find these two characters over there. As I said earlier also, Girish Karnad has intentionally created Aziz and Azam to create the light, comic and hilarious moments on the stage. And so I can say these two are the dramatic or artistic creations of Girish Karnad. Now I will switch over to one more important aspect of the writings of Girish Karnad. That is the tradition of company natak. Probably right in the beginning I might have told you that the play Tughlaq has 13 scenes in all total. Generally the full length plays are divided into acts, and later on these acts are divided into scenes. But here in this case we don't find any act, whereas Girish Karnad has presented or written this play and divided it into 13 scenes. Probably he has deliberately written it in this way in order to create or in order to follow the convention of the company natak. What do you find there in the company natak? In company natak, all the scenes are divided and alternated into two types of scenes. One, the deep scenes, and other, the shallow scenes. As far as deep scenes are concerned, you have the portrayal of or the scenes of a garden, a palace, one of the chambers of the palace, or dance is going on the floor, etc., etc. When it comes to the shallow scenes were meant for only comedies or the creation of comic scenes. And this particular company natak convention was deeply rooted in the mind of Girish Karnad, and he has effectively used the same convention while writing this play, that is Tughlaq. And it is here evident that he compromised a lot with the unity of action, time and place. Earlier I also made a statement in this regard that it is the degeneration of Shakespearean kind of playwriting, because the characters were intentionally divided into or for the shallow scenes and the deep scenes. And this particular tradition of company natak, I think, is one of the very important features of this particular play. Now I am going to conclude for this class, and I will talk about the plot of the play. Tughlaq as an artistic whole, if you really look at this play, you will find that Tughlaq as an artistic whole is nothing but the dramatization of the intrigues which are linked together effectively. Girish Karnad has put his artistic ability to create the comic story of Aziz, and he is trying to weave it very minutely with the tragic tale of Tughlaq. See the contradiction here in the plot. Aziz, instead of being punished for his misdeeds, Tughlaq awards him a lot. So that is the first contradiction that we could see. Sheikh Imamuddin, who continued to deliver anti-Tughlaq speeches in the state, he was callously murdered. Shihabuddin, who was an idealist, he was betrayed by his Ratan Singh. The conspiracy of killing Tughlaq is also the part of this plot, but with the help of others, especially the Hindu soldiers, he could overcome his rivals. One character named Nazib, he is the very close and confident associate of Tughlaq. But this Nazib was murdered by the stepmother of Tughlaq, and ultimately Tughlaq sends his own stepmother into the jail for life. And if you see in the end of the play, you find Muhammad bin Tughlaq sitting in his throne in a very bewildered and chaotic manner, and he is totally confused what to do and what not. And ultimately he takes a decision, that is to go back to the pavilion, that is Delhi, and he declares that he is going to shift his capital city again from Daulatabad to Delhi. So this plot is very artistically dramatized by Girish Karnad in this play. So hope, like in the next class, I will start with the first scene presented and dramatized by Girish Karnad in the play Tughlaq. Thank you.